it's very simple to talk about your insecurities. Just find right people to talk about all these things. You will not find them easily, but once you do, respect them. Tell them about what you're feeling, what's wrong within you, what's going, problematic within you. Just talk about all these things. Because jitna bhi on us, and moreover, it's, responsibility of parents, of teachers around us to notice कि इस बच्चे में क्या change आ रहा है, what's happening around with this person. क्योंकि कोई भी चीज का साइन दिख जाता है. It's not like it's hidden. It's visible on our faces. शायद if I am insecure.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Unscripted Me. Today Bhoomi Belani with us. Basically she is going to talk with us on look shaming. Now what is look shaming? There are plenty of things happening right now in society and we are bullying someone, we are passing negative comments on someone just because of their looks, facial expressions even sometimes even or if someone is fat, her body and everything and posters and everything. This everything includes in look shaming. And right now in school and colleges and even in societies right now, everything this kind of social and everything is too much now. And because of this, lots of students, lots of people, even me, feel sometimes we feel under pressure. Sometimes we feel anxious to go outside, and sometimes even we don't want to go outside because of our looks. So I think that that should be a talk on that, and that's why I invited Bhoomi Belani. She's just a school pass out. Over to you, Bhoomi. Can you just give me a brief intro?
Hello everybody, I am Bhoomi Belani. I just passed out my school. Apart from it, I am a diploma graduate in aviation tourism and hospitality management. And currently I'm pursuing law at Symbiosis Law School, Nagpur. Apart from it, I hold a very keen interest in writing fiction and non-fiction as well. Recently, I've started to research in the field of academics as well. Till
Okay.
date, I have written 3 works which are published in anthologies, and recently I've started working on my own research book.
Oh, great. And what are I read that you are developing new hobby. So just a little bit on that.
Actually, recently, as I had psychology as my subject in my 12th class, I hold a very keen interest in that part as well. And recently, I've
Okay.
started talking to people about how they are feeling, how they have been through such circumstances where they faced difficulties. And recently, I've started talking to such people and knowing more about their experiences, helping them, feel better about themselves
Okay.
for now.
Great. So Bhumi, now let's start with your experience. So how everything, how you have gone through this look shaming and everything. What exactly happened?
As I have PCOS and my genetics are like a bit hairy, so
Okay.
since my childhood, I've been having a hairy body. So,
Okay.
which is also referred to as hirsutism. And apart from it, this is a genetic situation as well for me. And moreover, I'm allergic to a lot of things, because of which I cannot remove all these hairs all of the sudden.
Okay.
So, since my childhood, I have been having these hairs. I used to feel a little ashamed about them because, all the girls around me, they were like having their skin like a clean skin. There was nothing on their skin, and they have like a very pretty face, you know, a clean face. There are
Yeah.
no hairs on them. So, since my childhood, I've been told by people around me that you look so hairy. What's wrong with you? People kept questioning me. That was something that I've been facing since my childhood. To remember a
So
recent incident,
just
yes.
continue.
To remember a recent incident, when I was in my 12th class, uh, obviously I was in Lance's Army School in Surat, and there a student, a girl from 5th or 6th class, she came to me and she asked me, Didi, why are you so hairy? Why do you have hair on your face and cheeks? And I felt quite awkward to answer that question. I felt a little ashamed as well. Like, why do I have all this? Even after knowing that this is a part of my body, I cannot do anything about it. This is
Right.
natural. I still felt bad
Mm.
about it.
Right. So it starts from there only, from the school.
No, it started from my home itself, like my
Okay.
cousins and all. They kept
Okay.
telling me that why don't you remove these hairs that you have on your body? Why do you have to like have them with you all the time? Just remove them. You can get a skin like us. But somewhere I didn't realize that I had allergies. If I am like waxing or doing anything, my hands or wherever I put that wax and all, that skin starts burning really bad. So I cannot even do that
Okay.
one.
Right. So, Bhumi, how now the thing is that you have started facing this kind of issue. So, at first, what you thought? What was your thinking?
Initially, when it all started, I was quite young, as I was somewhere around 14, 13 or 14, and it was quite a task for me to think about all these things, to concentrate on my academics after knowing that there is something wrong with my body. According to me,
Okay.
at that point of time, it was something wrong with my body because all the others looked different from me. I felt quite bad about myself, but as the time passed, I started reading more about it. As I started gaining insight about the medical conditions, I got to know about my conditions. I started feeling a little better that it's okay. Everybody has it. People do
Yes.
remove their hair. That's the reason they don't have it.
Yeah. So
So,
once you have this kind of comments and everything started coming to you, and so first it's not easy to accept ourselves only.
yeah,
So how you have accepted yourself first?
I was waiting for this question. Um, As I told you, from the very beginning, I was insecure about my body. I was scared to
Yeah.
even move out in public. I
Okay.
felt very much insecure about what would people say, why would they do that to me? They keep on telling me everything and all. But as I told you, I started reading more about it. I got to know about my conditions as well. I realized one thing that I have to live with this my whole life now, and
Okay.
it's completely fine to have body hair, to have imperfect body. Why do we want something perfect? It doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
exactly. Yeah. So continue.
It's like perfection doesn't exist according to me. Since I have told you that I talk to a lot of people, I try to know their insecurities, I try to know their bad incidents. I've recently came across a lot of people in my college itself who are very much insecure about their bodies. And I would like to tell you, when I saw them for the first time, all of them looked really pretty. They looked so
Oh,
adorable. I thought, oh my god, where am I? I'm not looking good enough in front of all of them. But as I started talking to, people around me, I realized everybody is going through some or the other insecurity within themselves,
yes.
which they don't tend to share. And recently, a girl, she is my senior, she's in the fifth year. She told me about how she started her college journey here in Symbiosis. But eventually, when she used to look at people around who used to get ready, most of the time, students, get ready in the college days and all. So
Yes.
she told me how she felt around people. She was like quite chubby, but I would tell you, she looks so adorable. Nobody would deny that. But she herself was insecure about herself.
Oh,
And it made me feel, why would you call yourself ugly? Why would you doubt yourself if you are so pretty? Just look at your face, this chubby face, your eyes. They look very pretty. The spark in her eyes,
right.
it attracts people. She told me how she used to feel insecure about her body, how she used to dress up new every day so that people around her can notice her. She helps them impress, you know. But eventually, recently, as she started studying more, the curriculum has started becoming a little more hectic. She realized the fact that there's no meaning, nobody cares about you here. Everybody is worried about themselves.
Right.
And the notion that I've acquired, people who judge you or comment on you are the ones who themselves are insecure about themselves.
Exactly.
They are confused about their own lives, and which is, you know, the reason I started accepting myself. I stopped commenting on others. It was the first point where I started accepting myself. The second thing, I, called myself pretty every day. That no matter what, you're pretty in your own way. You have
Wow.
this ability to understand people. That's beautiful. You can look at people and understand what's going on within them. That's beautiful. You try to help people around you. That's beautiful. Everybody is beautiful in one way or the other. Why do we have to,
Hmm.
feel insecure about ourselves?
Right. So, Bhumi, you have accepted yourself, but sometimes, when we go outside, or when particularly this kind of things happening started happening with us, we are getting a lots of negative comments, negative reviews, and it bit hard to accept those things. You have accepted yourself, is fine, but now how you have cope up with those comments, those people who are bullying you, kind of things.
See, as I started my journey here in college, I came here. I was a bit hesitant, as I told you. I never used to wear shorts and all. I still don't, like when I'm outside. It's quite unethical for me to put on, short clothes outside in the campus. But when I'm in the hostel, I do wear shorts. And, you know, people do stare at me and it feels a little uncomfortable. And they are, females themselves who, stare at
Yeah.
us like that. Uh, it's not just the case with me, it's the case with people with dark complexion, people who have some sort of deformities in their faces. That's the way they were born. They cannot change themselves. People do comment, people do make you feel bad at every point of time. But, you know, uh, if somebody tells me that what's wrong with you, why do you have these hair, why do you have this, why do you have that, I simply tell them about the conditions that I hold. And people who don't have any
Right.
such medical conditions, they can simply, you know, feel better about themselves by telling other people that what are your insecurities? Tell me about your insecurities first, and then you start up with mine.
Wow.
That's how you can simply cope up with such negative comments, and they won't come back to you again.
So, Bhumi, have you ever thought that when you got this kind of stuff, this looks and everything, so have you ever thought that I'll stop going outside, I'll not go to the parties, I'll not go to meet friends and anything?
Yes, this has been a person who was in her 10th class. I got a really negative comment about my looks and everything. Somebody told me, very, very heartbreaking words, and it, ate up my confidence. I stopped moving out, I stopped meeting people around. Being an introvert, I never had much of, people around me. But the ones who were here, I stopped moving around with them as well. But as the time passed, I started feeling a little better about myself. I started questioning myself, why do I have to think about these people who themselves are not, confident enough about themselves? They are simply pointing out our insecurities or our deformities or the imperfect things that we possess because they themselves are not secured about their bodies. They
Right.
feel that, oh my god, I'm not pretty. I should just, what do I do? And then they start, finding ways to criticize others so that they can feel better about themselves. Like, उसके पास तो ये नहीं है, उसके पास pretty color नहीं है, but I have it. They are hiding their insecurities by telling themselves about all these things.
So, Bhumi, have you ever tried to talk to your parents regarding this, as I'm facing this kind of issues and how to solve this and everything?
Yes, I've always been talking to my parents about all these things. They are, they never told me that you don't look pretty. Even after coming to
Yes.
my college, I felt a little insecure about myself. I called my mother and I told her कि मम्मा यार यहाँ पे ना सब लोग बहुत अच्छे दिखते हैं, सब बहुत प्रिटी है, सब एकदम ऐसे पतले पतले लोग हैं, they have like pretty skin, they don't have body hair, they are really good, they are really good looking. But the thing that my mother told me was people are hiding behind masks, the makeup
Yes.
they possess, their bodies are, full of the shapewares and all those things. You should not feel insecure about yourselves because you're being natural. You're being who you are. Why do you have to
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
scared? She just simply told me, don't change yourself. Just put on a red lipstick that you love and don't force yourself on anything and everything. You look pretty, you look really cute the way you are. That's what she told me
Yeah.
at that point.
So, Bhumi, what was your parents' reaction, when first you have told your parents that I'm facing this kind of issues? And, sometimes parents even don't accept this kind of child and they start hating the child or something like that. So, was that an issue with you or your parents were very easygoing?
No, my parents have been really easygoing. It's actually because of them that I got these body hair. So
Yeah.
there's no chance they would say anything. They also know it was their
Okay.
genetics.
So, Bhumi, now, in every life, every part of life, there is a moment when we believe that now it's enough, and now I have to start speaking for myself. So, what was that moment for you?
That moment, as far as I can remember, this person came out suddenly. It was not a fixed moment or a point of time where I fixed it on my own. कि अब तो बोलना ही पड़ेगा. Nobody can tell me anything. Uh,
Yeah.
There have been really small instances where I started speaking for myself. For example, the girl I told you about, where I felt really hesitant to tell her. I simply, called her like with me in the school itself. I made her understand the, point where genetics come into picture. I told her everything, how, your parents' genetics
Wow.
matter in your body. They are the reason why you have all these things. Moreover, body hair, they are very natural. Everybody have got those. Even you'll start getting them once you attain the age of at that time I first, came out with that point. I told the girl about all these things.
Is there any negative comments you have heard, and that impression of that comment lasts longer in your mind?
I told you about the incident that took place in my 10th class.
Yeah.
That person simply told me that you look very ugly with all these hair. You don't have anything good in your body. You are really fat. Your figure is inappropriate. You look, you know, in that sense, I cannot even express whatever that person told me because it's very inappropriate to, convey such things.
Yes.
And that was the time I was completely shattered.
So when you completely shattered, you must have your mind and everything got started looking for the options that now what can I do to remove this, how to treat this. So have you ever thought that is there anything medically things that I can do?
Actually, I was forcing myself to, pull off these hair using wax and all. But
Yeah.
eventually, my mother, made me understand the fact that wait for a while, turn 18, and then you can get it done. I was trying
Okay.
to find ways like, the cold wax strips. It's some sort of powder wax and a few creams and all. I was trying on everything to do it all. I was trying
Okay.
everything. I was trying my best to get it removed. Apart from
So
it, yeah.
So my son even he's just in Lancers only, and he's in fifth standard, and he is a bit of over healthy. So even when other students started teasing him, now even he feel ashamed on his body. So there are a lot of people has lot of body issues. You cannot say that there is a one only issue. Some are over healthy, some are having a hair like you have, some are you have body language is not there, some are not speaking properly, and people are making a lot of fun of them. So, what do you think that why people are making fun of those guys?
People are making fun of them because as a society, we ourselves, I've noticed people, they tell their kids and all, this is a fat guy. You should avoid being with him. This is a dark girl. Please don't stay with her and all these things. Our families, our
Yes.
backgrounds, they teach all these discriminatory things in you know in the very childhood days of ours, and it is what leads to all these things happening. Moreover,
Hmm.
I told you, when people themselves are insecure about their bodies, they start commenting on others to make ththemselves feel secured.
Right. So,
And
Bhumi, do you? Yeah, just continue.
as you told me, your son is in fifth class. No, whatever they hear in their families, the children, whatever they hear in their families, people talking around them, they start reciprocating those things. And
Yes.
in this generation of digital media, this is very common because of memes and all.
Yes. So now my next, I was about to ask you that only that. Now, what do you think that is there any role of a society in this look shaming and body shaming and everything?
Yes, there's a very huge role of our society, especially the Indian society.
Yeah.
Here, the beauty standards that have been pressed upon us are quite inappropriate. Nobody is ready to accept the raw beauty, the natural beauty that people hold. It is the main reason why people are becoming insecure, and they themselves are bringing out all these problems.
So now, what is the mental status when you hear everything? What was your mental status? Because sometimes you feel I'll do this, I'll do this, and even people are because of these issues, people are reaching to the absolute standards, absolute hey, is that I will not go to the school, I will not go anywhere. They just lock themselves up. So have you ever felt that?
I indeed felt that. I did feel that a lot of times. But the only thing I didn't lock myself up was because of my mother. She made me understand a lot of things. And apart from it, I have been a really uh, good at academics type of kid, and which led me to not miss my school eventually. But when I used to go to my school, I didn't talk to people much. I was avoiding interactions and all. I didn't want it to be in limelight.
Yeah. So when
And
I've seen you in the school, even I have observed that you are not talking with a lot of people. You are not, after schools, the friends and everybody stand together and talk and do musti and everything. You are not doing that. You are just coming to the school and just going. So, what was your friends thinking? Do you have friends who appreciate you?
yes, indeed. My friends, especially in my 11th and 12th class, they have been really good to me. I had a trio, and apart from it, two more people. As I was from humanities, we were just eight people in our class.
Okay.
So all of them have been really good to me. Nobody was, making me feel bad in any sense. We all had some sort of, imperfection within us. One of us was really short, another one was really thin, and one was a little dark in complexion, and I obviously had these hair. We all were imperfect in one way or the other, and we accepted the fact that we all exist here and we are meant to live peacefully the way we are.
So we now, how to, what do you think that we need to start teaching to our kids that these kind of things we will face in your life or maybe your friends have these kind of issues and how to make them understand to accept these kind of things.
See, that's an utter responsibility parents hold. A parent holds this huge responsibility of teaching their kids about body positivity, about,
Yeah.
not body shaming anybody else apart from themselves, getting all those things. Once we stop doing that ourselves, we'll see a change in our society, because अगर हम नहीं कर रहे तो कोई और भी नहीं करेगा हमें देख के. We'll,
Right.
एक एक करके एक एक बूंद से पानी के सागर बनता है. उसी
Yeah.
तरह से एक एक इंसान जब इन चीजों को अपने ऊपर इम्प्लीमेंट करने लगेगा कि everybody is having their own life, everybody has a right to live the way they want to, सब naturally beautiful है. Once we accept that fact, it will become really easy for the society to change. And
Yes.
parents, they must teach their kids कि तुम जैसे दिखते हो, you look very beautiful. And also, दूसरे जो जैसे है, they look pretty in their own way. You should not bully anybody. You should not speak bad about anybody's looks or anything.
So now you have mentioned that because of social media even now this thing started boosting. So what do you think? Why social media? What's the role of social media in this now?
See, in this particular generation, the role of social media is very huge, I would tell you. Being myself Gen Z, I've noticed these memes, all these, reels coming up where people are putting so much of makeup, they are using all these accessories, they are, you know, changing their whole filter, changing their whole
Yes,
look and everything using filters. You know, children who have really easy access these days, they are becoming insecure कि यार सोसाइटी में तो ये लोग ऐसे दिख रहे हैं, people are getting dressed like this person is using this makeup and all, ये इंसान ऐसा दिख रहा है. All these things start coming up in minds of these young children. You know, children, we think कि इनके अंदर कुछ नहीं होता है, कुछ सोचते नहीं है, कुछ नहीं करते, but children of this generation, this particular generation, are so mindful, they have so much within themselves that we don't really get it. Everybody thinks कि इनके अंदर तो क्या ही होगा, बहुत कुछ चल रहा होता है छोटे बच्चों के दिमाग में, especially kids of this age group of 13 to 18 years. They have all these things in their mind. Once they start
yes,
thinking about all these things, एक दूसरे के इन्फ्लुएंस में आके बात करेंगे कि यार ये वाला इन्फ्लुएंसर तो बहुत प्रिटी लगता है, वो ये यूज करता है, वो ये यूज करती है. सो यू नो दैट्स द बिगेस्ट इन्फ्लुएंस दैट सोशल मीडिया होल्ड्स. अगर कोई रील वायरल हो गई, दैट पर्सन इज हैविंग पियर्सिंग ऑल ओवर, दैट पर्सन इज हैविंग ह्यूज लिप्स, तो एवरी किड स्टार्ट्स थिंकिंग कि अगर मैं ये करवा लूंगा तो मैं भी प्रिटी बन जाऊंगा. अकॉर्डिंग टू देम ये सब स्टैंडर्ड सेट एंड बहुत इजी एक्सेस है आज के टाइम पे,
yes,
इन द टाइम ऑफ जियो. बहुत इजी एक्सेस है इंटरनेट का सबके पास, एंड सबको ऐसा ही लगता है कि यार मुझे और प्रिटी होना चाहिए, मुझे और ऐसा होना चाहिए और वैसा होना चाहिए. एंड उसके अलावा all these makeup products, all these beauty items, these creams and all to make you look pretty, these
yes,
claims and all, they influence our minds very much.
exactly.
I am not a learned person in this area. I've never researched इतना ज़्यादा कि मैं खुद को एक प्रोफेशनल बोल दूं कि मैं like I'm ready for these podcasts and everything. But all these are raw experiences, all these are raw learnings that I've had in my life.
Yeah. So, Bhupi, now a basic thing is that this kind of advertisements on TVs, the beauty standards we have set. You know, you have rightly mentioned that from the age of 13 to 18, these ads and beauty standards, that they are having a lot of effect on students' mind. So, what do you think? We have to stack it again, and how?
Sir, the thing is, we cannot set these standards. We are nobody to
Okay.
do so. We cannot change them. The only thing is, we can make ourselves understand the fact that we are beautiful. We are naturally, made like this. कि हम सभी अच्छे दिखते हैं. The only thing is acceptance. The society is acceptance, our own acceptance. अगर मैं खुद को accept कर
Yes.
रही हूँ तो सबको करना ही पड़ेगा. Nobody can tell me
Very
anything.
true. So now, do you feel that is there any role of education in this now? Because in our schools, in our colleges, we are teaching everything. They are teaching us everything, like education on everything. But what I feel is that there are few educations we are not providing, like finance education, we are not providing in school. Sex education, we are not providing in school. The same way, this kind of education, looks and everything, body shaming, and should be taught to a student from the school only. Do you feel that?
Yes, it is. It holds a very huge importance. If we are being taught all these in our schools itself, where we spend most of our childhood, you can
Yeah.
say almost 15 years of our childhood is being spent in a school. If they are teaching us about body positivity, if they are teaching us, how we can avoid all these feelings of insecurities, how we can make others feel secure about themselves, and it
Yes.
would be a different area itself.
So, Bhumi, now there are a lot of students who are feeling the same what you have felt in your school, but they are having a stigma. They are not able to talk to anyone. So, how you make them understand that how to talk to parents, how to start the conversation? Because they are having afraid, they are having shame that what will happen if I start this conversation?
See, all these things cannot be, spoken by me because I told you I am just a random raw kid who understood all these things from her own experiences. I cannot
Yes.
tell you how exactly we can do that, but
Hmm.
to, specify a few things. As I started talking to my parents, it was not a easy thing for me also. I was very scared. How do I tell them about all these insecurities? I, felt like कि कैसे बताऊं यार. Eventually, I made up my mind one day कि यार अब जाके बताना पड़ेगा that I'm not feeling good. It's completely on us, and moreover, it's responsibility of parents, of teachers around us to notice कि इस बच्चे में क्या change आ रहा है, what's happening around with this person. क्योंकि कोई भी चीज का साइन दिख जाता है. It's not
Right.
like it's hidden. It's visible on our faces. शायद if I am insecure about my eyes, so I'll keep covering those. If I'm insecure about my body hair, I'll keep on holding my face like this. If I'm insecure about my arms, I'll start wearing full sleeved clothes. There are a lot of signs and symbols that children face. People who cannot talk properly, the children who are autistic or something, they stop talking only. Children who consider themselves dark, they start applying makeup on them, on their bodies. People who think that their nose is, different, their nose is improportionate, they start
Yeah.
using or finding those tapes that are used to, bring out a shape, a
Skin
better
it.
shape. There are a lot of things that people can notice, people like elders around us can notice, but they neglect all these facts, which is a problematic thing. My mother once asked me, "Ke, why don't you, move out much? Friends क्यों नहीं बना रही आजकल, बात क्यों नहीं कर रही?" At that point, I shared everything with her. I made up my mind कि yeah, now I have to do it. Chance मिला है, I won't waste it. I'll speak out. And apart from it, if, you know, being a senior myself, when I used to see my juniors कि इसे शायद कुछ अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है या मेरे बैचमेट्स में किसी के साथ कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है, तो आई यूज्ड टू गो टॉक टू देम. Somehow we can encourage them to, you know, bring everything out. अब एक बार में तो कुछ नहीं होगा. You need to, go talk to them slowly, slowly. You need to bring everything out of them. That's
Yeah.
also a trick. You need to learn that part as well. As a society, it's our responsibility to, look around people who are not feeling good about themselves, to bring out what's wrong within their minds about their own self. And that's how we can do as of now, jitna maine samjha hai. This is the only way.
So you have gone through this experience, and in our education field, we are telling everyone that experience teach you a lot of things. So all these are things which you have mentioned, like science which you have just mentioned. Even I'm amazed that even I have never noticed this kind of things in my surroundings even. So I have to started noticing this kind of thing now. So
You
now,
indeed.
yeah. So Bhumi, now you just tell me one thing, that how to once I've started noticing those things, how to start to asking people that what you feel. We cannot ask directly, right? That why you are behaving like this, and if I'll ask, they will not tell me even. So
Yeah,
how to start?
that's
How to
that's
ask? Yeah.
so there's no way to begin with it. The trick that I use is I bring out my insecurities कि यार मुझे ना अच्छा नहीं लग रहा आजकल, मैं थोड़ी सी मोटी लग रही हूँ. आई एम नॉट फीलिंग गुड बिकॉज आई हैव दीज पिंपल्स ऑन माई फेस. यार क्या करूँ मैं, तू बताना कुछ. what do you feel insecure about? You just have to start it indirectly, the conversation.
Yeah. So you know what? This kind of now this Gen Z, Gen Alpha generations. they are not willing to share. They will share with friends even hardly. So how to motivate them to share? Because just like you are sharing everything right now. But I have seen people who even in lifetime they are 40 years old and they are not even sharing this kind of thing. So what makes you to share this kind of thing?
So that's quite simple because I've noticed people around me who are not able to bring everything out. I myself started bringing it all out so that people can, hold this fact कि हाँ यार अगर ये इंसान बोल सकता है then I can also bring it out. I can also bring out my insecurities. If you remember, when I spoke on 15th August, when we first met,
Yes,
uh, I spoke about freedom that we must give to ourselves. The freedom from our own fears. It can only take place when we, either get this motivation from within or we see somebody else achieving that part. When I met a few people after that speech, one of them told me कि जैसे तुमने आज अपने insecurities बताए that you were insecure about your arms and everything, that you felt insecure about your body hair, you felt insecure about your, you know, chubby body. So उस तरह से ना I'm also scared to talk about my eyes. They are very small. She was from Northeast. So she told me all these things, and eventually I sat with her. I made her understand the fact that your eyes look really pretty. According to your region, if you notice, your eyes look very pretty. Only those people who live there will know the value of those eyes. Not
right,
everybody is meant to know your value, right? It's on you how you bring that value out, how you show people that you have this value within you. Your eyes are pretty. You don't have to think about it twice. They look very pretty according to your region. According to the region where we are residing in the western and central area, people got huge eyes. That's the reason you feel insecure about your eyes here. It's all about the majority of area. Somewhere black people look very pretty, somewhere whites look very pretty. The reason being it's their region, it's their area, and it's their dominance. That's
yes,
how it all works. एंड टू ब्रिंग इट आउट जितना लोग बोलना चालू करेंगे इन सब चीजों के बारे में इवन दो सोशल मीडिया पे एवरीबडी इज स्पीकिंग अबाउट ऑल दीज थिंग्स दे आर नॉट
yes,
रीचिंग द कोर दे आर नॉट प्रोफेशनल्स दे आर जस्ट सो कॉल्ड इन्फ्लुएंसर्स दे आर नॉट प्रोफेशनल्स दैट्स द फैक्ट but if a psychologist, a person who has studied about this area, will start speaking, will start bringing all these issues out, people will get motivated and they eventually start speaking about their own problems. एक बार बोलना चालू करते हैं उसके बाद वो इनसिक्योरिटी लगती ही नहीं है बिकॉज वी ऑलरेडी स्पोक आउट कि
right.
मुझे इस चीज की इनसिक्योरिटी है.
So, Bhumi, what I feel is that uh, there is everything in our mind. We have a perception that if this generation will not accept me, this society will not accept me. But there is a life beyond that thinking, beyond that mind as well. There is a whole lot of people who are ready to welcome you with open hands. So, how to go out of that thinking? How you have done that?
As I told you, I simply woke up one day and I accepted the fact that I have body hair, that I look a little fat and chubby. I just simply said कि अब हो गया, अब कोई मुझे कुछ बोल ही नहीं सकता क्योंकि मैंने मान लिया कि मैं हूँ और मैं अच्छी दिख रही हूँ ऐसे ही. लाइक
Right,
अभी ना कोई मुझे बोलता है दैट यू आर लुकिंग फैट, आई सिंपली टेल देम यार मेरा मुंह एकदम क्यूट सा है, गुलाब जामुन जैसा है. देन दिस it's completely a thing which is on us. Nobody can change our perspective about our own selves. It's completely something जो explain नहीं की जा सकती. Maybe in the near future I'll start working on this area. Maybe I'll start researching more about this. और तब शायद मुझे बोलने के लिए और मिल जाएगा. But as of now, I can simply say this one thing कि जब तक ना खुद को खुद से नहीं मान लेंगे ना कि हाँ आई लुक
true.
प्रिटी, आई एम गुड इनफ, आई हैव दीज गुड स्किल्स, आई एम गुड एट academics, I'm good at this extracurricular activity. Why do I have to be insecure about my looks? Nobody cares about your looks once you start becoming a professional.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about how you look. अंबानी जी को कोई कुछ बोल सकता है?
No.
Sir looks very chubby. Nobody can speak out in front of him, right? But the only fact is, he is successful because of his hard work. He is successful because of his knowledge in the area of business. At the end, what matters is his skills. Because by the age, by the time we grow old, everything, all this beautiful face, all these bodies, everything will go into, will get ruined.
Yeah.
Nothing will last unless we go for therapies, which I would simply not recommend because, that's one phase of life where you look very pretty, where you have everything, you look perfect. But eventually you start, degrading your body because that's how this nature works. If you are putting on artificial stuff within your body, it will affect you only. It will maybe kill you early. You will die early
Yes.
because of all these chemicals within your body. It's better to live your life the way it is meant to be lived. You look pretty every time. Moreover, if we start complimenting people randomly, it will also create a very huge impact. Whenever I see somebody, वो इंसान बहुत pretty लग रहा है, by any chance they are getting ready for an event or something, I just simply go to them and I compliment कि यार you look very pretty, your eyes look very pretty. I don't compliment their clothes, their shoes, or the materialistic things like lipstick and all, earrings. I don't compliment all these things. I just simply tell them your eyes look really pretty. Your hair, they are looking fabulous. Your lips, they look very pretty. Just smile. You smile every day. You look really great while you smile. When you tell people about all these things, they simply realize that bhai, nobody is acknowledging my external beauty, but the thing that I possess, like the natural way I am, उस चीज को कोई भी एक्नॉलेज कर रहा है. वंस वी स्टार्ट एक्नॉलेजिंग द फैक्ट कि जो नेचुरल बॉडी है उससे अगर तुम कॉम्प्लीमेंट दोगे तो पीपल विल फील फार मोर बेटर देन यू आर कॉम्प्लीमेंटिंग देयर होल अपीयरेंस.
So now, Bhumi, what is, how you define what is beauty for you?
Sir, to define beauty, there's no way I can define beauty because I consider everybody beautiful in one way or the other. I cannot define beauty because अगर मैं डिफाइन कर दूंगी ब्यूटी को तो मैंने भी तो एक स्टैंडर्ड सेट कर दिया ना कि हाँ दिस इज द ओनली वे somebody will look beautiful according to me.
And do you think that is there any relationship between beauty and a success?
If you are an actor, then there is a relationship because जो दिखता है वही बिकता है.
Right.
जो लोगों को पसंद आता है वही उन्हें पसंद आएगा. That's what they'll accept. So there is kind of a relationship between beauty and success, but not in every field. Because no businessman looks, so adorable कि उसके पास जाके कोई भी रुक जाएगा for their beauty or something.
Yes.
They are successful because of their hard work. That's simple.
So now, what is your message who are suffering from the same stuff, body shaming, look shaming? What you want to say to them?
See, I won't say much, but I'll simply say this one thing. Please start accepting your bodies the way they are. Please, accept your raw version. The way you are naturally made, it's pretty. That's the reason you are here like that. And even if you feel insecure about your bodies, start finding ways to call yourself pretty. Look at yourself in the mirror every day. Tell yourself that you're beautiful. ऐसे नहीं तो ऐसे. Just find any way to call yourself beautiful. Just associate anything and everything. Use any means to make yourself feel good because that's how you can accept yourselves and that's how society will change. They'll accept you because you have already accepted yourselves. The one thing that I would say at the end is अगर हम खुद को accept नहीं कर पाते ना तो सोसाइटी भी हमें नहीं करती एक्सेप्ट. सोसाइटी को बहाना चाहिए बस बोलने के लिए कि भाई तू अच्छा नहीं दिखता. एंड मैं खुद इनसिक्योर हूँ, कोई और आके बोल देगा तो मैं और हो जाऊंगी. It's very simple to talk about your insecurities. just find right people to talk about all these things. You will not find them easily, but once you do, respect them, tell them about what you're feeling, what's wrong within you, what's going, you know, problematic within you. Just talk about all these things. Because जितना मैंने साइकोलॉजी पढ़ा उससे मुझे एक चीज समझ आई, जब तक हम लोग अपने अंदर से बाहर नहीं लाते चीजें तब तक कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Once we bring out everything which we have within, it will, start fading away eventually. Insecurities fade away होने लगती है once we start talking about them freely. To free yourself from all these fears of being judged, of, थिंकिंग के यार कोई क्या सोचेगा क्या करेगा, कोई कुछ किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बिकॉज दिस ब्यूटी विल लास्ट फॉर अ फ्यू इयर्स, नॉट मोर देन दैट.
Yes.
स्पेशली फॉर अस कॉमनर्स. हम कितना ही एक्ट कर ले, हम कितना ही खुद को कवर अप कर ले, इट वोंट लास्ट फॉर एवर, राइट? It's better to accept ourselves the way we are. It's better to accept our natural and raw selves. That's all I would like to say. And whoever is going through this, please talk to people around you. Please find, appropriate people around you to talk about all these things. Maybe it might be your mother, it might be your father, it might be, your friends around you. And अगर कोई एक बार तुम्हें अच्छे से नहीं एक्नॉलेज कर रहा है, then leave that person apart. ये मत सोचना कि कोई नहीं करेगा. There are a lot of people who want to help you out. They just don't know who needs that help. That's all I
Right.
would like to say.
Thank you so much, Bhumi. I recently have done a lot of conversation with a lot of people who are, expert in their fields even. But the way you have expressed yourself, the way you have opened up yourself now, it's truly commendable, Bhumi. Seriously, hats off to you and your thoughts.
Thank you so
And
much, sir. It
thank you
was
so much,
also
Bhumi,
a very
for
huge
for your time.
opportunity.
Thank you so much, Bhumi, for your time.
Thank you, sir,
I'll see
for
you soon.
inviting me.
I'll see you soon, Bhumi.
Yes, sir. And it was
Yeah.
also, great talking to you. It was also great to bring out all these things which I've been keeping within myself since a long time.
Thank you so much, Bhumi. Bye.